Now, the Saudi Arabia of renewables, that was the phrase Scottish ministers once used to describe the scale of natural resources available to us. Much of that was down to the fact that we had 25% of Europe's offshore renewables potential. But did we? That figure has now been significantly downgraded and it's prompted a row about transparency. Well, following this story is our political correspondent David Wallace-Lockhart. David, first things first then, what is the new figure?
Well, we have had a downgrading. Scottish ministers conceded last year that the stat they'd used since 2010 that Scotland had 25% of Europe's offshore renewable energy capacity was wrong. That had been a controversial figure. The UK Statistics Authority said it gave an inflated picture of Scotland's position. We now have the new figure and it's 9% when compared to the European Union. So the figure now we know has been downgraded.
So the revised figure itself is interesting, but more is being made perhaps of the way that that has come out.
Yeah, so that 9% figure was contained in this letter sent to Holyrood's Energy Committee. You have to go to the third page, to the annex. There's lots of stats in there, and point 9 gives you that new figure. This went largely unnoticed when it was published on the 21st of September. The Scottish Conservatives say announcing it in this way showed contempt for transparency. The Scottish Government Minister who wrote this letter, Neil Gray, he disagrees.
We wrote to the committee. We updated the Scottish Government's website with the full workings. It was there in full daylight for everyone to see, and it's a good news story. It shows that Scotland has a substantial amount of Europe's renewable energy potential.
But we've been given documents that the organisation These Islands, who oppose Scottish independence, obtained under freedom of information laws. And in these documents, we see Scottish Government officials discussing this new statistic. And at one point, they say that no proactive communications are recommended about it. In other words, they don't want to highlight that there's this new figure. So MSPs were updated via this letter. But let's remember, when ministers want to update MSPs, they can go to the Holyrood Chamber. They can issue press releases to the media. They chose not to do that in this instance. They put it in the annex to this letter, and I think that probably tells us quite a lot about how much the Scottish Government didn't really want to highlight that these figures had been downgraded.
OK, David, thank you.